Today I'm taking a look at the dual standing desk from Lazy Maisons, a company based here in Australia that admittedly I've never heard of. But when they reached out to me to take a look, I had the perfect space in mind. The dual standing desk comes in two boxes, the tabletop and then the frame itself. This is because the stand-up desk frame can be purchased separately for $400, which is $100 less than the version with the tabletop. The frame comes in either black or white. I received the white version. I really like how it gives this quite heavy furniture a much lighter feel. As in the name, the dual standing desk has two motors, and its height ranges from 69 centimeters low all the way up to 113 centimeters tall, meaning its telescopic legs have an extension range of 44 centimeters. This is both lower than I'd ever need and taller than I'd ever need, making it easy to be able to slide under the desk to plug something in or organize the cables underneath. Because the tabletop and the legs are separate components, you can always swap the tabletop out with something else if you decide that you don't like what you originally bought. The one that I received, the tabletop, came in this walnut color and a pattern and measures about 150 centimeters wide and 75 centimeters deep, which is a pretty good amount of room, particularly in the depth department. I'm not a massive fan of the color, but given that you could swap it out with something else, I'll focus more on the frame in this review. So setup was really easy. I only needed to use a drill a couple of times for attaching the tabletop to the frame itself and then the controller to the tabletop. The rest was put together via this really easy to use sliding and locking mechanism for essentially a toolless setup. There was only one slightly tricky part where we couldn't really figure out how to secure the legs to the frame base, but we eventually worked it out. If you've ever assembled something from IKEA or something similar before, you'll have no trouble with this at all. The two motors are controlled by this central black box, which attaches to the underside of the desk right in the middle between the two frame beams. This connects to the two motors plus the controller via these black cables, which you can then use the included cable management tie things to strap them to the underside of the desk. Ultimately, this leaves a fairly neat looking desk, until you start putting items on top. What I'd love to see is some kind of built-in cable management tray or power board, although that would probably likely increase the price of this fairly inexpensive standing desk. Cable management is particularly important with a standing desk, as if you've got cables running from the floor all the way up to the desk, you can find that they get caught or unplugged as you go up and down with the desk. What I ended up doing was attaching a power board to the underside of the desk and then doing my best to wrap all the power cables and stuff up so they didn't hang off the bottom and kind of look gross. Another option would be buying something like the IKEA Signum, which you could use to manage your cables. It's like a tray you can put all your cables in. The controller allows you to save up to 4 different height presets, in addition to dedicated buttons for moving up and down, plus a screen which tells you how far off the ground the desk is. As with most standing desks, this can be programmed to adjust the minimum or maximum height. The movement of the desk is really smooth and quiet, although one thing I have noticed is sometimes when you haven't moved the desk for a while, the initial movement kind of jerks a little bit to begin with. The desk is really strong and solid, meaning you can lean on it even when it's at really tall heights or short heights. I guess given the whole frame weighs 28.5 kilograms, this makes sense. I find myself not really standing too much. I find it a little bit hard to focus while I'm standing as I get kind of fidgety, but it's really good when you're in meetings or something where you don't need to do anything with your hands and you can just stand up. I also find when I'm sitting somewhere and doing work that doesn't have a standing desk, I really wish that I had a standing desk so I could go stretch my legs. So go figure. Ultimately, I think the Lazy Maisons Dual is a really good standing desk option. I was going to say it was a good value option, but it's pretty much the same quality as the ZenSpace desk frame I have, and it's $350 less. They shipped it to me really fast in Melbourne and hand couriered it to me, and I wouldn't hesitate to recommend this desk to anyone looking to upgrade to a standing desk. Thanks for watching this Technologetic review. If you enjoyed this video, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this.